Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles, great millstone. Shalom to Allah Akim, preaching His word in truth and sincerity and in faith. I'm the brother Yeshaya, and I just want to do a quick lesson because I was watching this video, and they was going into some very interesting topics, right? Which inspired. Shalom. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushai, Ba'ashem HaKadosh. Double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to Allah Akim, preaching His word in truth and sincerity and in faith. Mr. Brother Yeshaya. And I just want to do a quick lesson because I was watching this video and they went into some very, interesting topics, as it concerns the fires that happened in Hawaii, right? And basically just calling out the different tricks that Esau tries to use, right, basically to take over other people's lands, basically just calling out Esau's their tactics, right? Because back in the day I used to watch a lot of what people would consider conspiracy theories, but in those days, right, it was some dude, right? Not to, say it as an insult, but it was like some dude in their basement, and they was putting all, and the information was correct, right? But they was putting all the information together. But now you have it to whereas well-known and well-established journalists, they basically have become conspiracy theorists, right? They've become what they call truthers, right? Basically exposing Esau, the so-called white man, exposing his government, right? Exposing the tricks and the tactics that he uses, right? Exposing the lies, right? This has become the norm. You even have it on YouTube. Of course, you're not allowed to speak about certain things, right? They only let you go so far, but even on YouTube, they calling out, the lies that Esau pushes out in the different ways that he tries to steal people's resources, right? So I thought that very, very interesting that this has become the norm, right? Esau is being exposed on left and right. You have now, once upon a time it was some dude in a basement exposing Esau. Now it's established and well known journalists that are doing this, right? This has become the norm. You can go on YouTube and find different journalists exposing Esau. You can go on Rumble, find journalists exposing Esau. So this has become the norm. But let me play the video, a little bit of the video, bring out a few precepts. Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters are edified.
Era when no one could travel there. And it's devastating to this economy. Real estate developers have already swooped in. They've been making big money offers to buy up the burned land that these native islanders spend years saying no to selling. We're not going to sell this. We've taken offers and fielded offers for years. We're not going to sell it now. Of course, these offers are pouring in left and right. It's been 22 days, and still the ATF hasn't released any official cause of the fire. Was it a directed energy weapon, as some suggest? Was it arson? Was it the electric company that didn't turn off their power lines? The Maui County is suing the Hawaii Electric. They say they're negligent in all of this, that they didn't turn off their power lines. You know this part of the story. And they said, look, you guys had an opportunity to turn off your power lines after the National Weather Service issued their high wind.
Yeah, so basically he's calling out the the different inconsistencies of the story of the the fires that happened in Maui, which you examine most situations, right, that occur, right, wherever Esau is around, right, you'll notice there's nothing but inconsistencies, right, nothing but lies. I believe in the video he spoke about the chief of police, right, the head police officer. He's also the coroner, right? Basically, Esau has his different ways of falsifying information. I remember I was watching one documentary on Rumble, and they were speaking about Bill Clinton, and they were speaking about how the coroner, right, that was in his state, right? He basically appointed them when he became president. He basically appointed the guy to, some kind of position, right? Basically, he used this coroner to falsify, the cause of death of certain individuals, right? They would say the cause of death is is suicide, and the person got 10 bullet holes in them, but the cause of death is suicide. How's somebody gonna shoot themselves in the head and then shoot themselves 9 other times, right? Basically, using these different positions of power to falsify information, and he's calling out the lies that Esau pushes out, and it's been all this time, and they're still not given a reason why this happened, right? They still don't have a cause for the fires. Which, let me skip down to a little bit down, right?
On this show, number one, what happened to the children? As of this hour, 2,000 children are missing. That's no small number. Sources I'm speaking with say that it's likely, highly likely, that many of these children have been taken off, sold off in child trafficking rings.
What?
This is textbook studies in disaster zones, war zones. As Tim Ballard on our show, of course, who Jim Caviezel played in the great movie The Sound of Freedom, says, disaster zones are the number one place where sex exploitation and child traffickers go in and exploit. Children are...
Yeah, so he's basically calling out the different, tactics and the tricks that Esau uses, right? He's saying all of these kids have, all of a sudden gone missing. Nobody knows where they at, and he's saying more than likely, they're sex trafficking these kids. I believe in 2010, right? There was the earthquake in Haiti, and then you had the Clinton Foundation that went out there, and they accused them of the same stuff, right? Of basically going over there to take advantage of the people, right? And they were saying they were basically kidnapping the children, right? So basically, Esau is being exposed by his own his own people, right? Because those are the main ones that are speaking out against all the lies, right? Besides, obviously with the brothers, the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, right, calling out his lies and his hypocrisy. But you have even his own people that are speaking out against him, and this has become the norm, showing you that we're at the very last leg of this man's kingdom. When even your own people start speaking against you, that's how you know it's over with, as it says in let me get that, matter of fact, Matthew's 12. I think it's Matthew chapter 12, verse 25. It says, and Yahushua knew their thoughts and said unto them, every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation. Yeah, so we see that America, which is in the scriptures is known as Babylon, we see that America is very much divided, right? Even his own people can no longer stand by his wicked ways, right? Imagine how wicked you gotta be that even your own people are calling out your wickedness. Even your own people can't take no more. They're like no mas, right? It says every kingdom divided against itself is brought to desolation, and every city or house divided against itself shall not stand. So we are going to see America, right, which is Babylon. We're going to see a desolate, right? It's going to be completely destroyed. I believe, as it says in Isaiah 13, verse 19, it says is basically as the overthrow of Sodom and Gomorrah, right? So we know that place is no longer inhabitable, right? And it's going to be the same with Babylon, right? And the Heavenly Father is using his own people to speak out against him and to expose him. So this is the book of Obadiah, chapter 1, verse 6. It says, how are the things of Esau searched out? How are his hidden things sought up? Yeah, so Esau is being exposed for the liar that he is. He's being exposed for his greed. He's being exposed for his wickedness, right? He's over here stealing children, right? So he can, sell them in his pedophile rings, right? Which is, Donald Trump speaks about that all the time, right? So Esau is being exposed. So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 58, verse 3. It says, the wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born, speaking lies. Yeah, this is his MO, right? This is in his nature to speak lies. It says, his soul which is lifted up is not upright in him, right? Meaning he's a prideful man and his spirit ain't right, right? So he as soon as he's born, he goes astray, speaking lies, and it's being exposed that he is nothing but a liar. Nobody trusts the government, Esau's governments anymore, right? No matter which one, right? Whether it be here in America, it be over there in Britain, France, right? So they've caught on to the lies, they've caught on to the deception, because once upon a time, when the government, right, these different Western Edomite governments told their people something, they believed it, right? When 9/11 happened, the majority of the people, they bought into the lie, right? But now, because information is so accessible, right? Now he's being exposed because people are looking at the facts and they're seeing the facts do not add up, right? It's easy to deceive some people when there aren't cameras everywhere, right? And there isn't a news cycle. You could literally watch live news 24/7 and get all of this information, and people are noticing that the information isn't adding up. So this is the book of Micah, chapter 2, verse 1. It says, woe to them that devise iniquity. Yeah, destruction unto those that devise iniquity, which means sin, right? A multitude of sins, right? It says, and work evil upon their beds when the morning is light. They practice it because it is in the power of their hand. Yeah, so they have the power to do these type of things, right? They have all these. He said, it could have been a energy blast, an energy weapon. So they have the power to do these things, right? And they do it just because they can, right? It says, and they covet fields, right? Esau is a covetous man, right? He wants, he not only does he want what he has, he wants what you have. It says, and take them by violence, and that's exactly what he does, right? You think of places like Iraq, Afghanistan, right? He wanted their resources, their oil, right? Different places in Africa, he wanted their gold, right? He wants your land, right? Whatever you got, he even wants you, right? He wants to put you, he already put, basically the whole entire earth, in captivity, right? Right? He wants to keep you a slave. He wants to keep you under him, and he does it by violence, right? In Genesis the 27th chapter, it says that his blessing was the sword, right? And I believe in Revelation the 6th chapter, it says that he had a great sword. So Esau is the man of violence, right? That's all he knows. So this is Revelation chapter 6 verse 4. It says, and there went out another horse that was red, right? Representing Esau, right? The red man, right? He calls Native Americans red, which he's really the red man. It says, and power was given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. And that's exactly what he does, right? He goes around destroying people's land, stealing their land, stealing their resources, stealing their children to put them in pedophile rings, right? So this man has completely taken peace from the earth, right? It says, in that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Yeah, so all this man knows is violence. He lives by the sword, like Yahushua said. If you live by the sword, you're gonna die by the sword. And Esau, for sure, is gonna die by the sword. I believe it's either in Ezekiel or Isaiah, the 35th chapter, where it says, since thou hast not hated blood, blood shall pursue thee. Yeah, Esau doesn't hate blood, right? He doesn't mind killing a couple thousand, couple hundred thousands of people. This man is so wicked. He killed his own people, right? Just so he can start a war off of a false pretense, right? Just so he can accuse, those different nations of terrorist acts, right? So that he can use that as an excuse to take away the rights of his own people, his own citizens, right? And also to start a war under a false pretense. It says, and they covet fields and take them by violence, and houses, and they take them away. So they oppress a man in his house, even in a man in his heritage. Yeah, you can't even enjoy your own land, right? You can't even enjoy your own culture because Esau does whatever is in his power to destroy that. He tries to steal your land. He tries to corrupt your culture, your heritage. You got to act like him because if you're not acting like him, there's something wrong with you. He pushes out that democracy nonsense. He wants the whole entire earth to be a democracy, which is nothing but confusion, right? So this is the book of Psalms, chapter 55, verse 21. It says, the words of his mouth were smoother than butter. Yeah, he goes over there, right? He goes over to your land and he pretends like he's trying to help you. He's trying to help your people. Meanwhile, he's doing whatever he can to destroy you, right? To destroy your people, to steal your goods, right? That's his MO, right? It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, but war was in his heart. Yeah, the whole time he's the one doing it to you, right? And at the same time he's pretending to help you. Okay, here we'll give you X amount of money. We'll give you food. We'll give you supplies and different things of that nature. But he's the reason why you are in the situation that you are in, right? And a lot of people are finding this out, right? They realizing like this is very suspect. I believe in the video the guy went into the fact that you have to look at who is this benefiting more, right? Who does this benefit? And then you'll know who is behind it, right? So Esau is exposed. Nobody believes the lies anymore. It says the words of his mouth were smoother than butter, right? Yeah, we're just here to help you. We're humanitarians, right? It says, but war was in his heart. His words were softer than oil, yet were they drawn swords. Yeah, his only goal is to destroy you. His only goal is to steal what you have, right? This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 5. It says, yea, also because he transgresseth by wine, he is a proud man. Esau is the proudest of them all. And the scripture says, pride goeth before destruction, and a haughty spirit before a fall. So his pride is going to lead to his destruction. It says, neither keepeth at home. Yeah, he's not satisfied with his land. He wants your land. It says, who enlargeth his desire as hell and is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. Yeah, Esau is not satisfied. He wants to take over the whole entire earth. He wants to establish his one world government, right? His new world order, right? Where he rules over the whole entire earth, right? He's not satisfied with just dwelling in his land, right? He already stole, you know, he already went throughout the four corners of the earth, raping, robbing, and murdering. But that's not enough. He got to keep it going. It says, but gathereth unto him all nations and heapeth unto him all people. Yeah, he's not gonna be satisfied until everyone's land is his land is under his rulership, right? So it says that he is as deaf and cannot be satisfied. So that's why we see him doing the things that he does. This is Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 16. It says, thou art filled with shame for glory. Yeah, once Esau, Edomite nations were glorified for being humanitarians, helping out small countries in times of disaster, giving them resources, right? But now he's being the same thing he was glorified for. Now it's a shame unto him because people are waking up to the truth, so they know what's up, right? They know that Esau doesn't have these people's best intentions in mind. His only desire is to fill his own belly, right? It says, drink thou also and let thy foreskin be uncovered. Yeah, so his shame is being uncovered, right? That's what it's speaking about, right? His shame is all out in the open. It says, the cup of the Lord's right hand shall be turned unto thee, and shameful spewing shall be on thy glory. Yeah, and that's exactly what we see when these people are calling out his deception, when these people are calling out his lies, when people are calling out his hypocrisy, and they're calling out his wickedness. That's shameful spewing on his glory, and it has become the absolute norm. And that's how we know this man's kingdom is at its very end, right? It can't continue any longer. And let me say this: Esau is such a devil. People know what he's doing, but this man is so wicked. He still continues to do it. The whole time you calling out what he does, he still does it, and he lies about doing it. He ain't gonna come clean, right? You'll catch him red-handed, so to speak, right? Literally catch him red-handed, and he still want to keep up this facade. He still want to pretend to be the good guy. He's just trying to help out, right? Yeah, that's the pride of Esau, right? You know what he's doing. You tell him you know what he's doing, but he still continues to lie. That's all he knows, right? That's why the scripture says, as soon as they be born, they go astray, speaking lies, right? So yeah, I thought that to be very interesting that the exposing of Esau has now become the absolute norm, right? And even on YouTube, they allow it. I'm surprised by what things people are allowed to speak about on YouTube, but they definitely won't let you go, won't let you go too far. If you try to go too far, they'll strike your video, and then they'll delete your channel, right? Yeah, so that was it. Lord willing, you brothers and you sisters were edified. I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bashem Shai, Bashem Kadash, double honors to the elders and apostles of great millstone. Shalom to Allah, can preach His word in truth and in sincerity and in faith. Shalom.